What's up, Earth's mightiest subscribers? It's Ernie, Blerd without fear. Welcome back to the channel. So, Avengers, No Road Home, written by Mark Waid, Al Ewing, and Jim Zub, with art by Paco Medina. This is a story that focuses on a group of Avengers we don't get to see very often in the forefront of things. Characters like Hercules, Vision, Scarlet Witch, Spectrum, Rocket Raccoon, and the recently introduced Voyager. We also get some series regulars like the Immortal Hulk and Hawkeye. But before we get started, it only takes 2 clicks to become one of Earth's mightiest subscribers. Click. Now, I'm gonna address the elephant in the room here. This story is a direct sequel to last year's Avengers No Surrender, which I did cover at one point, but got behind and never really finished it. Now that it's collected, I may go back and finish it up, but for now, just know that the fallout of that event is the kickoff for this one. Okay, so some things you may need to know. Voyager is a being with incredible teleportation abilities, and she has returned to the fold of the Avengers. Rocket Raccoon was stranded on Earth after the events of Infinity Wars, and is causing about as much trouble as a walking, talking raccoon with giant guns and a penchant for taking things that aren't his would typically cause. Hawkeye, on the other hand, is getting used to leading a team again, the West Coast Avengers. Meanwhile, Scarlet Witch is getting more accustomed to her relationship with Dr. Voodoo, and now they're taking the next step in moving in together, with the implication that he just might be the one. Vision, on the other hand, is dying as a result of his fight with the Hulk in No Surrender, and only with the help of Spectrum is he able to prolong his life, using her ability to turn into any energy spectrum and having her enter his body and help sustain him with extra added solar energies and help him find the faults in his mechanisms. Blue Marvel and Dr. Ho believe Vision will manage to beat this thing and survive, so long as the sun doesn't mysteriously disappear out of nowhere. And no sooner than she utters the words, the sunlight across the entire planet disappears. Infinite night has now fallen across the entire Earth. This leads to Voyager coming back in the Avengers' hour of need, much like she did during No Surrender, and the Avengers put together a small squad of present party members, including the Immortal Hulk, who Voyager specifically grabbed for this mission, as well as Hercules and Rocket Raccoon, who happen to be together at the moment thanks to a misunderstanding. Because comic books, Voyager knows what's going on and where the origin of the sunlight disappearing took place, and takes everyone to its source, Olympus, the home of Hercules. But when they get there, they find every Olympian, man, woman, and child, slaughtered and put to the sword. It's not until they find a barely alive Athena that they get any word on what's happening, that it was the Queen of the Night who is responsible for this, and that whatever they do, they must not say her name, and leave it to Scarlet Witch. She says her name. And out of nowhere, Nyx, the Queen of the Night, arrives, blinding Wanda and unleashing her children, Hypnos, Oasis, Apate, and Dolos, upon the Avengers. And don't at me about the pronunciations, I don't care. Nyx is a god capable of outfighting Hercules, can withstand Hawkeye's trick arrows and Scarlet Witch's magic, and is able to rend the flesh of the Immortal Hulk. Not only that, but her children are running roughshod over the gang, with Oasis spreading despair and cowardice among the Avengers' ranks, while Nyx goes toe-to-toe with the son of Zeus. Voyager winds up sacrificing herself by teleporting everyone else away to random locations while she stays behind, captured by the goddess of darkness. So where did this threat come from? How is Nyx here all of a sudden? Turns out that long ago, even before the time of the gods as we know it, there was only Nyx and Zeus, darkness and light, alone together. Zeus hated Nyx, and thus began spreading light across all of creation, creating a bright world full of bright things, new gods, new people, none of which were anything like Nyx, leaving her to feel like an outcast in her own home. She was always there, but always overshadowed and left out, never feeling like she was, quotey fingers, one of them. Thanks to Zeus having many children, she often wondered if she could ever do the same and feel such happiness. And thus, her first dreams of sleep brought forth Hypnos, the god of sleep and dreams, a child who, like her, tried to be like the others, but ultimately learned that his place was not with them. And as Zeus and the Olympians' legends grew, spreading across the earth, even in their various forms, Zeus's power and influence grew as well, and so did his hatred of Nyx, fearing what her darkness could bring, and this brought forth Nyx's own dreams of deceit and trickery, thus giving life to her twins, Apate, the god of deceit, and Dolos, the god of trickery, the echoes of her hatred and frustration with the lies of the Olympians. Eventually, Zeus aligned all of the gods of Olympus against her and struck her down, telling her that the night was no longer hers to command. And Zeus mandated that as long as the sun shines upon the earth, for you, there will be no road home. Roll credits. Taking her soul and breaking it into a triforce of sorts. The night that was, the night that is, and the night that may yet be. And he struck her from history, making it forbidden to ever utter the name Nyx, as he cast her and her children into the void, wrapped in chains, where she festered and waited in darkness, and it was here her fourth and most powerful child was born, Oasis, the god of misery. But thanks to the game played by the Grandmaster and the Challenger during No Surrender, when they moved the Earth from its favored place among the stars to a place of night and darkness far from the prying eyes of the sun, Nyx's imprisonment was undone, and her first order of business was to undo the gods of Olympus, which she did in short work. And now we find our heroes spread across the Earth, with the immortal Hulk, Hawkeye, and Rocket being thrust into the realm of the villain Nightmare, a being far past his prime now and nearly powerless from trying to thwart Hypnos' endless army of sleepers and dreamers trying to invade his fortress. An army under Hypnos' control, fast asleep and free from the very thing that grants Nightmare his power, effectively draining him of his life force. The reason Hypnos is relentlessly attacking Nightmare is because Zeus once entrusted a piece of Nyx's soul to him to safeguard in return for Nightmare's domain and increased power, the night that may yet be. And with Nightmare powerless and the shard of Nyx's soul almost in his grasp, Nightmare needs the help of Hulk, Hawkeye, and Rocket to stave off the attack. Talk about strange bedfellows. But Hawkeye is the only one willing to help for nothing. Hulk and Rocket want to be paid, and what's scarier is that this is the immortal Hulk, and if he's got a smile on his face while he's about to bargain with Nightmare, nothing good is going to come of it for anyone else. Or maybe he's not bargaining for himself. Maybe it's for Bruce Banner. Either way, the fight has gone the opposite direction of what Hypnos intended now that Nightmare has new allies on his side. They begin cutting a swath through Hypnos' sleeper army, free fades for everyone, and while doing so, Hawkeye is having a lot of fun because he realizes that these people aren't the real people. They're just proxies. So for once, he can cut loose and kill with impunity. Until he sees Kate Bishop, who Rocket refers to as the real Hawkeye, and it's here Clint actually hesitates, even knowing it's not the real Kate, but Rocket don't care. Hulk, on the other hand, is chasing down Hypnos, because Hulk loves it when his prey runs, and he chases Hypnos all the way to the prize, which Hulk lets him take, the night that may yet be. It's only then that Hulk makes a strike against Hypnos, a god who in the face of a godlike being, even he's scared shitless.
Meanwhile, in Omnipotent City,
Hercules, Spectrum, Vision, and a blind Scarlet Witch are wandering the halls of the great library of worlds. In the nexus of reality, they are stopped by the Lord High Librarian. He doesn't want them there, and more importantly, doesn't want to help the Olympian contact other gods to help in the fight against Nyx, since it's essentially his own problem. But it's here we learn Scarlet Witch isn't truly blind. Nyx didn't take her sight entirely. She merely gave her the ability to see nothing else except the thing that she craves, the night shards, one of which is sitting squarely around the Lord High Librarian's neck. More importantly, her eyes now act as Nyx's eyes, leading to her children coming for the Avengers' throats, and the night that was. Apate and Dolos managed to turn Hercules against the others, using his rage and pain against him to trick him into thinking the Avengers were at fault for his losses, and Spectrum now believes Hercules has split into several different beings, all of which are trying to kill her. But Scarlet Witch manages to thwart the twins, and giving Monica a chance to create a strobe effect that breaks the spell on Hercules. But it's too late. Nyx has found them, and with Oasis at her side, she's bound Vision, Wanda, Monica, and Hercules in tendrils of night, rendering them incapable of stopping her. And now she has in her possession the night that was, potentially returning even more of her dark power, and she barely broke a sweat doing it. and with Vision slowly dying even faster thanks to being trapped inside of endless night with no light to absorb, and Hercules in a berserker rage, Scarlet realizes Nyx is too preoccupied with trying to solve the puzzle around how to activate her soul shard and restore her power. She uses this opportunity to tag team with Spectrum to cast a spell, because Scarlet still technically can't see well enough to form the glyphs necessary, but Monica can transform into neural electricity and enter Wanda's body and see her thoughts. It's nowhere near a painless process. Spectrum essentially causes a living seizure in Wanda's mind, but she's able to form the glyphs perfectly so that Scarlet Witch can cast the spell she needs. An incantation that will turn darkness into light, giving them the chance to break free of Nyx's bindings and stop her from cracking the shard. Oasis tries to use his powers of despair and misery on Hercules and it backfires splendidly. All the while, Voyager and Wanda simultaneously working together, with Wanda able to knock the shard out of Nyx's hand and take possession of it, while Voyager teleports them both far away to a random location. If that weren't enough, at this precise moment, Hulk has Hypnos in his grasp, catching him while he was trying to communicate with Nyx and having her teleport him to her location with the night that may yet be. Only before she can do so, Hulk has his giant-sized hands around Hypnos' neck, and without so much as a single ounce of effort, crushes it, killing Nyx's firstborn son, sending her flying into a rage as she unleashes power maybe even she didn't realize that she had, turning Hercules and Vision into dust before Voyager's eyes, something that would make even Thanos proud. So where did Wanda wind up? Still blinded and now lost in a desert wasteland, she's attacked by some random bandits all dressed in tattered rags, and they try to steal the night that was from her. But in the middle of the attack, she's saved by one of the mightiest warriors in all of history, the Sumerian barbarian king. Now with that actually takes us halfway through this 10-part series, and I'll touch on the last 5 issues when they come up, but just know that this story arc is off to a really good pace, especially when you consider the fact that, Marvel right now, they're juggling this story arc, which is a weekly story arc, with the War of the Realms, which just now started. So it's kind of weird how on both sides of the fence we have Avengers dealing with mythological threats on one side of things, and on the other side of things we have even more Avengers dealing with another mythological threat. And this one really speaks to me because being a huge fan of Greek mythology and having studied it for a long time, I was actually really happy to see one of my favorite goddesses in all of Greek mythology being showcased here in this comic. So having Nyx show up as an ultra super mega uber badass just made it even better for me. It was just the icing on the cake. Not only that, we do get to see Monica Rambeau do a few things. I do feel a little down about the fact that Blue Marvel is in this book, but he's only in the first issue and he doesn't really do anything, so that is kind of a strike against it, but I'm hoping that maybe as we get to the last 5 issues of this series, maybe he'll show up and, get to do a little something, maybe put a little respect on his name, but at least Monica got some. Anyways, let me know what you think about Avengers No Road Home so far. Sound off in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, Hulk smash that like button. And if you want to see more awesome videos like this one, make sure you click subscribe so you can become one of Earth's mightiest subscribers and tap that bell so you know when I post up. And if you want to become one of Earth's mightiest patrons as well, swing on over by patreon.com/blerdwithoutfear. And if you chuck in a buck, you can get some exclusive content. And if you don't want to become one of Earth's mightiest patrons, that's fine too. Hey, all I ask is that you like this video and share it with your friends. And who knows, maybe they'll become some of Earth's mightiest subscribers too. Anyways, thank you for taking the time to watch this video, and while you're here, go ahead and check out some of these other videos I got floating around here. But until next time, Plus Ultra!